In today's video, we are going to go over wild turkey fletchings and how you can make your own too. Alright guys, so wild turkey feathers, what makes them so nice? First of all, they're very durable. They retain their natural oils that a lot of the commercial ones lose during the manufacturing process for dyeing and whatnot. They are easy to make. They're very cheap, essentially free. And they're abundant. Save the feathers from the birds you shoot. If you don't shoot very many like me, then talk to your friends and have them save them for you. They'll be glad to. Most people don't have a use for those anyway. And third, they just look cool. So let's head to the shop and we're gonna knock some out and you can see how I do it. All right guys, so we're in the shop here. To start with, I got some feathers here. These are primary wing feathers. If you have secondary feathers, they will work. They're just not going to be as strong. They're not going to last as long. Primaries are the best if you got them. These are right wing feathers because I'm going to be using a right helical clamp on my fletching jig. So make sure to match left wing to right wing feathers to left wing, right wing helical. I'm going to be using a utility knife. I got a straight fletching clamp. This will be used for grinding the quill down. You'll see that in a minute. And then I have a cutter to cut out the profile of my fletching once I get it done. So we'll hop over here and I'll show you how to split the quill. All right guys, so to split the quill, we're going to lay it so that underside of the quill is facing up. A little groove right down the center here. All you want to do is split that with your utility knife. Once you get it started, you can kind of pull it apart there. Set that to the side. We only need 3, but we're going to do one more just in case. Okay, now that we got those split, so the cutter I'm using is for 5-inch feathers. So I'm going to knock these down a little bit. I'm going to leave it just a little over 5 inches, but I want it short enough it'll fit in my straight clamp here. Try to shoot for the middle of the feather here. If you get clear out here to the end, it's going to be a very wide quill. It's just going to be harder to grind down and glue down to your arrow, and down at the other end towards the tip it gets so thin there's not much there to glue. So I try to shoot for just right midsection of the feather. That. If you do shoot very short feathers, 3-inch, maybe even 4-inch, sometimes you can get 2 fletchings out of one feather. Where mine are 5-inch, I only get about 1. Okay, next step is we're going to put these in the straight clamp here. And we're going to move over to the sander and we will use that to grind this quill down so it's nice and flat and smooth. This cutter I use, this is a shark cutter. I got this from Three Rivers Archery. I know they have a bunch of other options there too. I've been pretty happy with this one. It has worked very well for me. All right, guys, all that's left is to fletch these up. These are going to be going on a carbon arrow today. Okay guys, so it's that easy. It doesn't take much time at all. I did want to add one thing. If you want to add some color to your arrows, normally I just splice some dyed feathers on the back. You can dye these. I personally don't have much experience with that. I know, I believe it's Wild Fletchings sells some dye that I've heard good things about. I have not used it myself. But I usually just buy some full length dyed feathers and I just use little pieces of them to splice them on there. That gives me some color so I can find my arrows if they're buried in the grass or whatever. And you get a package of full length feathers. Using that little bit, it'll go a long ways. Well guys, that is it for this one. I hope you enjoyed that video and I hope it helped you out. If you would, take a minute, like and subscribe, and after that, get out there and shoot some turkeys so you can make some of these.